Hello students, I welcome you all again on our e-learning session of GS College of Commerce, Wardha, and I am your teacher for the subject CLSP, and I hope now you are clear with this CLSP. It is Company Law and Secretarial Practice. As we have completed our 2 lectures, and in that we have gone through with the details regarding the syllabus, and that to the syllabus of unit 1. What are the contents of unit 1 we have seen, and yesterday I have explained you the meaning and the definitions given by 3 or 4 authors regarding company. Now in today's lecture we are going to discuss on the characteristics of the company. If I again come back to our previous lecture, in that we have seen one definition given by L.H. Haney, and this L.H. Haney's definition is more well known, more famous, and followed by maximum people who are referring this company law. Okay, now what he said, in that he explained that company is an incorporated association. What is company? Company is an incorporated association. It is which is an artificial person. Again it is mentioned in the second characteristics, that is artificial legal person or a artificial person, okay, having, what is that? Artificial person created by law, having separate legal entity or having separate entity with what? Having separate entity with perpetual succession and common seal. And now if you go through, all the 5 characteristics are similar, means only these words are used in the definition given by L.H. Haney. So why he has mentioned, why he has explained his definition in such a way? Because company itself, as we have seen, what is the meaning of company? Company is a group of people, group of persons, group of persons who are associated together towards a common purpose, and that common purpose is nothing but trade or business. Okay, what is company then? Company is a group of person or maybe 10, 15, 20 people who are coming together, associating together to achieve a common purpose, and that common purpose is nothing but trade and business. That is a simple meaning of company, which we have seen yesterday. And now in today's session, see, characteristics of a company is one of the very important part, because every detail regarding the company, characteristics, features. For example, if you and me, anyone who wants to start, who wants to incorporate any company or any new business, then for that reason they have to follow all these features. Rather, the base of the law is nothing but these features and characteristics. Okay, so what is the first one? Is incorporated association. It means unless and until the company which is going to start up any unit, maybe a production unit or any other business, maybe a proprietorship business, because there are some legal formalities which has to be completed by the persons who own a business or who are supposed to be a businessman in the future, and in that manner incorporated association, when there is an association of 10 to 20 people or may say 50 people, then if they are associated together for the purpose of trade or business, then it must be incorporated. Means incorporation certificate is a kind of certificate or a kind of document which is received by the business persons who wants to start a new business activity, and that is called incorporated association. The association which is incorporated, then only a person can start a new business. That is what exactly is incorporated association. A company must be incorporated or registered according to the prevalent, the meaning of prevalent is existing company law. If you want to open a new business, then you have to take the help, you have to follow the norms, certain rules and regulations, terms and conditions which are mentioned in the prevalent company law or the prevalent companies act. then only the association can be incorporated, then it is called a legal kind of business. Otherwise the business will be fake if the norms are not followed which are mentioned in the prevalent company law. Correct? So this is the explanation of incorporated association. Or more we will add into that, it is the incorporation of a voluntary association that creates a company. Means the group of people who are coming together, associating together, and which is incorporated in a formal, in a legal and lawful manner under the Companies Act, then it is called company, and that's what we are looking for, characteristics of company. Then second is artificial legal person. Now why it is called artificial? See, every company, for example me, I am being an individual, being an human being, I am a real person, but a company is called artificial person. Why it is called artificial person? Because a company is an artificial person in the eyes of law, because it is not natural or real. The meaning of artificial means the thing which is not real, or the thing which is not physically in existence. It means it is not natural or real, having a physical mind and body. Means company को कोई physical body and mind नहीं है. Okay, it is known as artificial person, and because it is artificial person, the exact meaning of it, it is separate from its members, it is separate from its shareholders, it is different from the original person, the individual person who is alive. For example, me, I am a person and I own a business. It means the name of that business is company. For example, A and B Company Limited. So A and B Company Limited is a artificial person, but who is running that business? Who owns that business? I am the owner of that company. So it is a artificial person, and the employees, the persons who are working in that companies, they are the persons having physical body and mind. Okay, so however law deems it to be an invisible and intangible person. Okay, you cannot touch the company and you cannot see the company. आपने कभी ये देखा है कि ये प्रकार की कंपनी है? कंपनी का एक नाम होता है, एंड द पर्सन्स हु आर वर्किंग देयर, मे बी दे आर द डायरेक्टर्स, मे बी दे आर द मैनेजर्स, मे बी दे आर द क्लर्क्स, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पर्सन्स who are working in that company. So it is called artificial person. It is not natural, it is not real and natural, so it is artificial legal person. Correct hai? Are you clear with the concept? I hope it is clear. The next is independent or separate legal entity. Now what is legal entity? When we say that when the company is incorporated with the help or after the before the incorporation, all the process regarding the incorporation is taken place with the help of Prevalent Companies Act. Now that Prevalent Companies Act, prevalent means existing Company Act, is having some legal formalities. Once you complete that legal formalities, then only you are supposed to get that incorporation certificate. Once you hold that incorporation certificate, now you start your business activity, you are liable to continue your business activities. So it is a separate legal entity. Section 34 subsection 2 lays down that from the date of incorporation, a company shall be a body incorporate by the name contained in the memorandum. Further we will see what is memorandum of association, what is articles of association, but right now what is the characteristics? Separate legal entity. Okay, clear with that, or you want more explanation? A body corporate, a company is immediately capable of functioning as an incorporated individual, existing independent and separate from its members who compose it. It means, for example, A and B Company Limited. Okay, me, myself, with my friends are with the idea of opening a new business. Okay, we have completed all the formalities, norms, terms and conditions under the Companies Act, Prevalent or Existing Companies Act. Now once after completing the incorporation formalities, now I received the incorporation certificate. Now after the receipt of incorporation certificate, now I am a legal entity. It means my company has a legal form. It is known that now you own the business which is legal. No illegal kind of things are supposed to happen in my company because I have an incorporation certificate. I have completed all the formalities which are required for the incorporation. So it is said separate legal entity from a human or individual body who is the owner of that company. Now perpetual succession. What is perpetual succession? Perpetual successions mean a continuous existence. For example, again we will take the same example of A and B company limited. A and B company. Okay. Now in this company, one is owner, or we can say the board of directors, then second is manager, then others are clerks or administrative staff, then fourth are we will say employees, different employees. Okay. Now the owner, the member, the board of directors, these all are persons who can leave or who can join the company. But the company itself is a continuous existence unless and until the company is closed. And in the legal words, it is called dissolution. Dissolution means winding up of the business. Once the business is incorporated. So since incorporation till dissolution. Okay, the process which starts with incorporation and ends at dissolution, and this dissolution is nothing but winding up or closing up of the business. Okay, now once you have started this company, then there are board of directors, there are shareholders, there are members, there are managers, the persons who are on the higher post, then persons working, employees working at administration department, then there are different employees or workers. Okay, so all these persons may come and go. Okay, that may be due to the death of the member, that may be due to the retirement of the persons, but company is going to remain same. The existence of the company is continuous, and that is called the perpetual succession. It means once the company is incorporated and the existence is continuous, the people, the member, the shareholders, the managers, the administrative staff, they may come and go. They may leave the company, they may join the company. But its existence is continuous till dissolution. Unless a company is winding up or closed down, then the existence of the company is continuous, and that is only it is called perpetual succession. What is that? Perpetual succession. The perpetual succession means continuous existence. The company is going to be the existence of the company is going to be continuous. Okay, unless the name A and B company is there. But if you wind up that business, if the business is dissolved, till the time A and B company will remain in existence, it will be live, it will not dead. The person may come and join. The members may leave, or due to the death or retirement or any uncertain reasons, the people may come and go, but the existence of the company remain continuous. That is, it is called continuous existence. And in the legal language, in the company's language, in the court language, it is called perpetual succession. Then next is, what is next? Common seal. The common seal, the meaning of common seal is official signature. What we say? Perpetual succession means continuous existence. What is that? Continuous existence. It is continuous existence. Then it is official signature. Okay, now what it means? Once you say that the company has a common seal. It means official signature. You must have seen, for example, if you have any letter having the signature of the principal along with the stamp, and that is what is known as common seal or official signature. See, as we have seen, that company is an artificial legal person. It has a separate legal entity or different legal entity. It is an incorporated association. So common seals, the persons who are working in the association, company is an artificial person. It has no physical existence, and therefore it has to act only through some human agents, and that is the persons who are known as directors, managers, different employees. Okay, they are, such people are known as, they are the members of the company, they are the part and parcel of the company. So it is not possible every time to take their signature. So there is a common seal, and that common seal is official signature. Okay, and the person who is head of the company, who is head of that particular unit, he has to work. So such a formal contracts or acts to be authenticated and affixed by a common seal to them. There are various contracts and agreements which need to be signed by the official persons or by the responsible persons, and these responsible persons may be the managers or other persons who are appointed by the board of directors. So their signature along with the seal, so it is called a official signature. Then separate, what we have seen, transferability of shares. The capital of the company is divided into different small parts, and that each part is called share. Okay, आपने हमेशा सुना होगा shares and debentures. Okay, the persons who are buying the shares of the company, those are the shareholders of the company. The shares of the company are freely transferable and cannot be sold or purchased in the open market without any prior permission of the company concerned. This feature of company's shares has been described under the section 82 of the Companies Act. Okay, this is mentioned in the Companies Act under section 82. Then limited liability. The concept is in the Companies Act 2013, or before that we will see in the historical background of Companies Act. What is that? Limited liability, the liability of the persons. Okay, an important advantage of carrying the business under the corporate form of enterprise is the enjoyment of limited liability. First of all, what is liability? Okay, asset and liability. These are the two main words of commerce, business or accounts. From the accounts point of view, from the commercial or commerce subject point of view, assets and liability. Liability means where you need to pay your debts. Okay, and assets means all the income and gain, and liability means all the expenses. Okay, now if you see the limited liability, an important advantage of carrying the business under corporate form of enterprise is the enjoyment of limited liability. A company may be limited by shares or may be limited by guarantee. In a company limited to the extent of the nominal value of the shares held by them. If the shares are partly paid, the liability of a member is limited. Okay, now this concept you will find every time this word is going to be used, limited liability. Okay, means for example, the person who is owner of a proprietorship business, and in that proprietorship business there are 5 partners. Okay, there are 5 partners, and these 5 partners, their liability is unlimited. But if the persons who are related, means the limited liability, the companies, and we are looking here for the characteristics of the company. Here the liability is limited, and in case of sole trading business or a partnership business, there is unlimited liability. Okay, so these are the characteristics of company. And I hope this is sufficient for today's session. We will stop here, and in the next lecture we will see historical background of Companies Act 2013, or what is Companies Act 2013. Thank you.